Here with Chad Finn, Boston.com, Boston Globe. I'm CineSport's Noah Coslov. We're getting into reaction to last week ESPN shutting down the popular sports website Grantland. What was your first reaction, Chad?
Disappointment. I mean, it was a great site. I think that disappointment probably comes accompanied with not a ton of surprise because Bill Simmons had left 5 months ago. It was his project, and when he left and some people followed him a little while later, you wondered what ESPN would do with it. When an editor or someone overseeing a website or even at newspapers or various other forms of medium has this ability or has this position where they can hire various different people and sort of chase their own idea. What happens a lot of times is they end up hiring people like themselves or people who they try to shape into being who they are. And Simmons' genius with this, and I don't think that's too strong a word, was he hired really talented, creative people and let them be themselves, gave them room to roam. And so what you ended up with was really sharp, creative, unexpected content on a daily basis. And to have all those guys in one place under that Grantland umbrella, that's going to be missed. It already is.
What did it say about ESPN?
That's a business. It is. I mean, part of it seems vindictive that Simmons did not have particularly good parting with John Skipper. But when he left and people followed him out the door, maybe it was inevitable. I guess inevitable is too strong a word because it wasn't that long ago where John Skipper was saying, we plan to honor and respect Grantland in the future, and we'll continue with the site, and that didn't last very long. So I think that's where the surprise element comes from. That maybe, you could see Grantland sort of disassembling sometime, but it didn't seem like it should have been so soon.
I think there were ways, and you said, it's a business, but do you think there were ways that Grantland could have morphed a bit, even during Simmons' tenure, that would have made it more sustainable?
That's a good question. I guess, it's just such a clickbait world that we live in, and they didn't do any of that stuff. They didn't do the photo galleries. They didn't do game reports or breaking news or all the stuff you find on ESPN, essentially, just conventional things. They did their own thing. It was a niche. It was a great niche, but quality long-form journalism doesn't always drive the traffic numbers that you would hope. Sometimes it does. But often it doesn't, and you need that other stuff to sort of sustain it. It's the world we live in.
And finally, Chad, is it fair to say then if ESPN, if they couldn't keep Grantland going, that nobody could keep a site like Grantland going, that form of long-form journalism only just can't exist?
Well, they could have kept it going. They chose not to.
Well,
They're sticking with 538, which it's Nate Silver's site, which, its time is coming now with the election around the corner.
Right.
I think this was a little bit personal towards Simmons. I think it was some of the fallout from the cuts that ESPN has had to undergo because people cord cutting, they're losing subscriptions and all that, paying enormous right fees, all those things. I think it could have sustained there, and I think if you look around, you see other sites where it is succeeding.
All right, he's Chad Finn, Boston Globe, Boston.com. Good talking to you. Thanks, Chad.
All right, Noah. Take care.